Hello and welcome to a day 3 playing stream for the Operation Candyland server on DCS. I will need to fly kind of a quick mission today, but if you just watched the kind of mission update video, you'll have heard that I said that I might just do a quick cast mission, maybe against some of these units kind of up here in the north. So we'll see how that plays. I might pick something else in the meantime. We'll kind of see how it goes. So let's get our plane going. Right shift K, and as you may have seen in my previous videos, shoot. Oh, okay, I was worried that my track IR wasn't working. Okay, so as you may have seen in my previous videos, I just like to make my own custom knee boards, just with an abbreviated steps of what to do. Again, this may not be 100% prototype or 100% the right way, but it's my way and it works for me. Alright. And I'm still learning this too. I'm relatively new to the F-16. I enjoy it a lot. It's a good plane. There are some limitations to it, but all in all, for what it is, it's really good. I'm very happy to fly this one. Okay. So while the INS is warming up, let's see what we want to do here. I mean, these vehicles are on the move, and I feel like the F-16 is not the best at hitting stuff on the move. I mean, yeah, you could do it with GBUs and the targeting pod and all that, but an A-10 or an F-18 with AGMs is just going to do a far superior job at that. So I think we should play to our strengths. There is an AA group here at Maykop, and I think that might be worth attacking. You know, just kind of keeping defenses down as low as possible before they get something more substantial there, like you know, any surface-to-air missiles or anything like that. So that would be a pretty simple mission for us to do. It would be quick, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of cap after that, maybe a fighter sweep. And again, on this server, you know, it's just basically, you don't have to think too much. It's just kill red units, and as complex as you want to make your mission, or as easy as you want to make your mission, feel free. For now, at least. Okay, so let's do ground crew, yarm, and that should be pretty easy to kill. So I think we're not going to have a long flight here. So let's do let's do 2 CVU 97s. Sorry that my track IR is a little jittery. Let's see if we can fix that. It's been a little sensitive lately. Alright, and then we will prepare ourselves to do some air-to-air afterward. Again, I like to put the 120Cs outboard, just so that the radar seeker head doesn't get masked by my own fuselage if something is kind of off-bore by a lot. Alright.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Copy.
Refueling complete.
I just happen to be more a fan of the solid lights than flashing. Usually you do flashing when you're on the ground to call more attention to yourself, and then do solid in the air.
Rearming complete.
That by no means is a real life rule. That's just something that I've noticed or heard a little bit. So usually I'll do that, but I don't know, not today. Okay, so we're good to go there. So let's enable nose rear steering. A little bit of gas. Left, right, brake. Good. And now let's get connected to ATC. So 130 is the tune-in channel. COM to VHF 13000. Enter. And now right control backslash. And request takeoff.
New data. In field. 1-1. Request takeoff.
Give that another shot. ATC, new data.
New data. In field. 1-1. Request takeoff.
Tune into 130, that looks right. COM2 is 130, that looks right. Not sure why we're not getting a response.
New data. In field. 1-1. Request takeoff.
Alright, might be a little bit of a bug or something going on, or I'm completely missing something and you're all yelling at the screen right now to push some button, but I can't hear you, so I'm just going to roll. Generally at good data, you take off to C. No, that's wrong. You take off the other way here. So runway 33 is where we're going to go to, so we're going to go out, left, right, and then we'll be at the runway. Might have messed it up because we didn't request startup, possibly.
New data. In field. 1-1. Request takeoff. New data. In field. 1-1. Abort takeoff. Field 1-1. Taxi to parking area. New data. In field. 1-1. Request takeoff. Field 1-1. Data, clear to taxi to runway 33.
So in the chat, if you can't see it, one guy was saying, "Oh, it's pretty quiet today," which he's speaking about. There's not very many red air assets, and very close to kind of the Red's main area, there's a blue carrier group. So there's F-14s just taking off with their long-range Mavericks and just killing literally everything. So it's no surprise that there's not much going on. This mission might end up going pretty quick, actually, unless that the heavy or the transport fleet for Red can get to a dock and start unloading. Alright, countermeasures, helmet mounted steering point. So again, to get you know, our waypoints, I'm gonna click on us, click on the waypoint, and we want to fly to 21. So we'll click up here. And now, as you notice, we haven't taken a runway yet, so we're going to now request takeoff.
New data. Infield 1-1. Request takeoff. Infield 1-1. Data, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QSE 30.44.
No, I don't know why my track IR has been so buggy lately. Maybe I have to clean the camera or something. Alright, so here we go. And we're not going to do a full burn takeoff here. We got enough runway. I wonder if it's the flashing from that strobe on the A10, like bouncing off of something shiny in front of the track IR. So nose up, and we're going to want to brake to 300. Leaving my gear down for a little bit just so I keep the flaps down. Gear up. I turned way beyond 300. I wasn't paying attention. Alright, there we go. And we'll just give about a 15-degree climb. So we'll just put it into attitude hold. Sorry, just doing something off screen, so my track is taking me to some weird places right now. It'll be done in one moment. Okay. So, let's see, let's cut that out. Keep our climb going.
Dark Star in field 1-1. Request bogey dope.
So about 15. Let's level off for a moment. Turn to steering point. Get us aligned. Gonna turn on our AA mode. Switch missile type to AMRAAM. Extend out our radar range a bit. Get some friendlies on the scope. HSD, just to kind of see where we are in relation to the waypoints. Exterior lighting, usually during an attack. I don't like to have them on at all, so I'm going to kill everything. Sometimes I'll leave the anti-collision strobe on the tail on. But it's daylight, so people should be able to see us. And it looks like there's another thing on the scope. So let's do IFF scan. Doesn't come back. Do it one more time. Sometimes it doesn't ping on the first try. So it looks like there might be something bad entering the area. Looks like we're just about aligned here. Turn off my kneeboard, right shift K. Turn off our attitude and our altitude and steering, and pull up again. I get to about 25,000. And we're just getting up here mostly for fuel conservation. We'll burn a lot less fuel the higher up we go, obviously, so that should be good. So altitude hold, steering point hold, or steering point as our heading, and that should get us aligned. So we're flying just with two CBU 97s. Our target is going to be this little anti-air group over at Maykop, which has already been a little bit messed up. Let's take a look at it. So just some gunnery emplacements. These have a, don't quote me on this, but they have, I would say if you're flying below 5,000 feet, these things could be dangerous. Usually, you know, if there's one of these around and I accidentally fly over it and it hits me, you can hear a couple taps of the bullets, but not enough to take you down. But you know, we'll just kind of clear that. And again, I'm just trying to give like a different flavor of mission each time, to just kind of change things up a little bit and show the different weapons of the F-16 and kind of practice them for myself. I would like to try to get better at attacking units on the move. Again, you could do that with the targeting pod and a GBU, but that just seems overkill, especially when an A-10 can fly by with a couple AGMs and just, you know, pop them off simply and ripple them off at that. So I don't feel like the F-16's best use case is for stuff on the move. It really seems, well, at least with the current weapon mix that we're allowed right now, it seems either like precision strike on hardened targets, or just kind of indiscriminate dumb bombing of static units. Seems to be what it's pretty good for. So anyway, I will say that the CBU though is completely OP. The thing is just awesome. You drop 2 on a group of anything and they are dead. I know that Trickster that comes onto the server, he started doing that. I don't know if he's on right now. but he'll usually go with a pretty heavy loadout like of CBUs and just decimate an area. Oh, here he is now. Let's see. He's in the F-16. Either way, though. Alright, so let's switch to air-to-ground mode real quick just to get ourselves set up. So we will drop in CCIP, so we'll do basically a dive bomb onto it. We could do CCRP, so we could plug in the coordinates of those units, etc., but we're going to act like we don't know that they're exactly there. We're going to try to find them on the ground and then attack. We're going to just drop a pair on them, since I don't think we'll need the bombs after that. And then we'll probably just do a quick fighter sweep thereafter, maybe fly toward one of the enemy bases, see if we can't pick up any transports or anything like that. You can also dial into the AWACS, so I'm just going to hit backslash. You can see that Dark Star is on station. If I click that now, it won't connect to me because EC comms aren't active on the server. So instead what I need to do is go to Other, Mission Information, Frequencies, AWACS, and Dark Star doesn't show up in this list. So what this means is that Dark Star is actually probably on its way to go land or refuel or something like that. So it's not considered to be able to get on station right now. So we don't have an active AWACS. One thing I want to try, and I keep trying to get this to work, is the ability to change your call sign. So let's see if I do. So it says Flight 91, but if I talk to ATC, it seems like it never works.
Food order. In field. 1-1.
I mean.
Request navigation assistance.
The interesting thing, though, is somebody did it earlier, and I saw that theirs was changed. It actually said some other call sign. So whatever he did, he got it to work. I think, at least, it showed differently. I just don't know what he did. Maybe I have to disconnect from the current airport so I can change my call sign. Let's try that. I feel like that's oversplash from something, so I don't think we're going to react to that. Sorry. He was dodge, I think. That doesn't work. Is he dodge 9-1? Dodge. Well, if anybody tries it and they're able to get it to work, let me know. I'd really love to get that up and working so everybody doesn't have to be Enfield 1-1. But he changed it, and down here, well, I guess you can't see it because of the overlay, but in the DCS box it tells you what your call sign is. It said Dodge, so don't know. Well, anyway, we're almost above the target now, so about a minute away, so let's go air-to-ground mode. We're in pair. Good. Should be able to just drop it and be fine, so I'm going to switch off of autopilot. He's a little bit kind of off the runway to the right, so let's start our dive and see if we can find him. And there's the runway. There they are over there. So I'm going to put out my speed airspeed spoilers. And I'm going to try and drop right in the center of that group and hopefully the disbursement kind of just picks them all up. So this looks good. So wait for the pipper to get in the middle. Don't want to get too low on them. There. Start to pull up. Actually, I think they already came off. Yeah, they did. Alright, let's not get shot at. There it breaks up.
Altitude. Altitude.
Looks like we got all but one down there. A younger, stupider, less experienced me would then go try to gun run an AA emplacement, but we're not going to be stupid. We're going to stay alive. Always come back with more bombs later. So let's switch back to AA. And we're just going to pick up some altitude. And we're basically going to fly eastbound right now. I know that Anapa, which is their main base, is waypoint 17. So, plug that in. Just start heading that way. Again, we'll pick up some altitude just to be kind of fuel efficient here. Attitude. And I bet you we could probably dump our center fuel tank by now. We can, so I switched to center fuel tank. See that it's the needle is to 0. So to drop that, I'm going to go to SMS, inventory, selective jettison, SJ, pick my fuel tank, hold the pickle button, fuel tank's away, deselect, go back to SMS. And then one important thing to do is re-click one of your master modes. Now, with the circle, you'd think you're still in AA, but you're actually in jettison mode. So just hit AA again, and that'll kind of take you back to this normal thing, and then hit inventory, and you're back to what your normal screen looks like. There is a paddle button that you can use to quickly deactivate your autopilot. I think it's the enable paddle switch. I just don't have enough buttons on my joystick to do it, so I just do it the hard way. I might have an extra button, I don't know. I have the Satec X52, which I've probably had for more than 10 years. And the program, after they were bought by Logitech, their programming software crashes my computer to blue screen, so I can no longer use all the shift and have one key set to multiple different bindings anymore. I really should upgrade, but I'm just so used to the quirks of this joystick that it's fine. It's not that big of an annoyance yet where I don't feel like I could do all the things I need to do in the mission. Alright, so we'll level off here. Altitude hold, steering select. So we've got about less than 7,000 pounds of fuel left, it looks like. So we'll breeze around for a little bit, and then just head back home. So let's do an IFF sweep. So this wedding cape, that is their main base. So we can see we have a friendly flight over that now, another friendly flight here. This is probably one of the airports, probably Maykop. And we might be able to see that on the HSD as well. So there's our guy. There's our guy. There's something ahead of him. We don't see that here. I think that data link isn't quite working yet, or I don't know how to use it, one of the two. But I would bet that something in the mission has to be appropriately set up, like the ELPRS system or something, so might have to do a little bit more work there. And we can see Trickster up on the bunker. I don't think that's what was coming back on the radar, actually, so never mind. And just 1 second. So there's just one contact out this way. Probably a transport. So let's light them up. And I don't remember exactly what the HUD symbology or the symbology is here. So let's take a look. So MFD T1, T2, T4, and T5. Hoping to get altitude. Altitude's on medium, so that's 31. Okay, so I guess we could fly that way. So I can remove my heading and turn right toward them. And then another thing I like to do just to make life a little bit easier is use the heading bug. So let's say that he's going to be at 320 from us. So I could dial that in here and then hit heading select, and that should put us right nose on him. Of course he's flying, so that's going to constantly keep changing, so we'll have to kind of update that as we go, but just to kind of show this will basically point us at him. And this says he's 16 degrees off of our nose right now, and if we look, there he is. So at 330, 320 for this, at 320, 330, I think it's just kind of bobbling between the two. So just kind of a little trick there. And so yeah, we'll round it up a little bit. So we also want to head him off, right? So we want to fly about 345, let's call it. So 330, 345. Now this could be a fighter too, so we don't want to be completely complacent in this. Just saw a ZU-23 got shot. I was wondering if that was somebody following up our bombing. Doesn't look like it, and I'm not going to cheat and look at who we're flying toward right now. We'll learn together and be surprised. But I'm going to guess it's probably a transport. So there's another contact here, closer one. He's at 24,000, so that might be a fighter or something that took off. So he's on a course for, oh, I'm sorry, I was calling that the course. I think that's, well, let's look. T1, T2, T3, that's his, oh, right. So this is his aspect, which doesn't quite make sense to me yet. It's something like, it's 180 degrees, he's coming right at you, and if it's some other variation of that, he's flying some other direction. I'm not exactly sure. But let's close in our radar a little bit. So he's about 80 out at 32,000. So let's correct back into him. And we'll fly, I'm going to guess 320. Just about right. So pretty high closure rate. Usually when it's a really high closure rate like that, we're talking about something that's has the ability to fly supersonic. Usually if it's a transport, it's in like the 3 to 500s. So this may be a MiG-31 on a fighter sweep. Not sure, but we'll see. Could be a bomber, Tu-160, going supersonic above us on a cruise missile strike. So, just kind of see what happens here. We don't have a radar spec from him yet, so you see that T2 ping. That's actually a ship. So, I know that's not him. And then there's another radar ping behind. So after we engage this one, we'll want to quickly get back to heading 320-ish. And then scan the area and see if we see anything. So now it's starting to turn away. That makes me think that he may want to avoid conflict. No? Maybe turning back in now. Looks like he's coming down. No radar ping yet. So he may be over an airport. That might be... Yeah, I was going to say maybe it's Maykop, but oh god, which one is it? I forget off the top of my head. But I don't think... I think we're well past that. Basically my point was going to be maybe he's circling into land right now. Alright, so let's flip off our autopilot and start to go on an intercept course. Yeah, not too sure what he is. I don't think he's a large plane. So let's get our steering cue centered. Get him in a path of no return since he's not trying to engage us yet. And missile out. Okay, he's gone defensive. Su-25. Gonna switch to heat seeker, uncage the head. To about 3.5. Fire. Don't want to get in front of him because I don't want a heat seeker of his in front of me, or on me. So I'm gonna try and not give him an aspect. Hit. Su-25s can take a hit or two though, so might just put a second one in him to be safe. Switching to dogfight mode. Uncage the head. Fire. Hit. Dead. Alright, we're going to saw contrail out this way. No afterburner. Switching out of dogfight and missile select mode. Putting our radar back out to 40. There's the target. Lock them up. And we're going to switch to our AMRAAM. just kind of turning ahead of him to keep lead on him. Can't quite tell what that is. Seems like a bigger plane though, probably a transport. So we're in our max right now. I'm closing a little bit closer because I don't think he's threatening us. No escape. Since I'm not worried about him, I'm going to get closer because I want to get some of the kinetic energy from the missile into him. These bigger planes are much harder to take down, and we already used up both of our heat seekers. I think. Yes. And we might have lost a lot from him, so switch to dogfight mode. Out. And again, when you're in dogfight mode, you kind of don't get the benefit of the shoot cue, but you're so close that I guess you shouldn't miss. And so, because we got real close to him and that missile hit him fast and hard, that just broke his wing off. Alright, so we have 2 AMRAAMs left. We know that the planes are coming from this way, so let's turn toward it. Fuel state 5,000, so we're doing very fuel efficient right now. Although we are like pretty deep into enemy territory now. So I'm just going to point this way generally. Level off. Switch off of dogfight and missile mode. Let's level off. Get a little bit more distance in our scope. Here we have some targets off to the left. So let's go heading. Let's go steering select because we know that's their main base. So we'll head back toward that way. I just want to check real quick. Yeah, for some reason it's making helicopter spawn all the way back at enticing. I have to push up fix for that because helicopters should actually be on the front line so you're not flying somewhere forever. Alright, so let's get this guy. Might be 2 contacts there. So if we want to know that, just kind of highlight and then do expand. And we can see it's just 1 contact. But it may be a fast moving contact, and that's why the blips are kind of so far from each other. So let's dial in steering select. Or heading, sorry. And I'm going to flip to that instead. And let's see if we can figure out where he's at. So he is about 235. I think 220 will be fine. Okay, T4 speed. Sorry, I'm an idiot. True heading, T2. So 150, I think, is the direction. It must be the direction he's flying, right? Because he's going right to left right now. So that makes sense. And then 7L, I think that means something. That's the thing. So it's 70, maybe 70 to the left. 70 degrees off left. I'm not really sure. No matter. Alright, so let's flip off of these and start to fly toward them. So our closure rate isn't very fast right now, but he is going away from us, or across us. Closure rate's pretty slow right now. Let's see if any radar pings from enemy flights. Doesn't look like it. Could try to accelerate after him, but I don't really want to. I don't know if I want to do the fuel burn for it. He is pulling away, so it's going to take forever to close on him. But he's probably going to land, so my guess is he's going to slow down at some point. Doesn't look like he's going to land at their main base though, because we can see he's not really flying toward the wedding cake on our MFD, which is currently our selected waypoint, which is their main base. But he may be flying to that. Well, you can see that little spike off, so that's the direction he's flying. So maybe to go land over there, which is where we have to go back home anyway. So maybe we'll just follow him in. So we're going to lock in our altitude hold. I'm going to do heading select, but let's kind of dial this in a little bit. It's basically to fly the same way he's going. Oh. Okay, getting a little bit dark, so let's boost up our console, panel, lighting, etc. Alright, so now he's pulling away from us. So we basically have to go back home anyway. So I think I'm just going to kind of follow him along. My guess will be if he's going in for a landing, he'll start to slow down. Probably here, which is going to be Glenzik, I believe. Novorossiysk is right about there. So, and it looks like he's flying in that direction. So if he starts to land, we'll pick him off while he's trying to land and then make a left and then just break out to home. If there happens to be an AWACS up. Not right now. Alright. Even though it says that it is here again, that doesn't mean that it's actually on station per the mission code. And again, I'm going to just see if I could change my call sign. It still doesn't seem like this feature's working, but give it a shot. Enfield 1-1. Someone changed it. I don't know how they did it. Alright, so he's a little bit off of our steering point, so let's kind of turn to continue to head him off. Make a big sweep here, 150. And he's at a higher altitude and getting away from us, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be MiG-25, MiG-31, something like that. He's also at a really high altitude, 39,000. Sometimes I notice too that the HSI gets out of whack, and I'm not sure why it does that. I might be setting it at the wrong time or something like that. Let's go back to norm actually. So that's a ping from a radar, the radar of an F-15. So it's a friendly flight, but he might be searching for the same guy that we're looking at right now. And also another thing is we don't know if there's any enemy AA around here. So usually above 25,000 feet, you're safe from any gun or infrared fire. But if it's radar guided, that can get you. Usually though, you'll see that on the data link. Like if somebody else has detected it, you'll see a yellow ring and know that you're flying into it. So just good to keep an eye on that since we're over enemy territory right now. Alright, so I'm going to turn back in because my guess is that guy's over the airport now, so he might be changing course. Another thing too is we could just set our waypoint for that airbase and fly toward it. Let's see if we just look out here. So now he's at 28,000, so I would say he is coming in for a landing. So let's switch off. And so we're just headed right into him. Again, he could be dangerous, so we don't want to take that for granted. But since he's just coming in for a landing, he probably doesn't have enough fuel or may not have an appropriate weapon loadout to engage us, so we might be okay. Gotta put on the night vision, so right shift and H. And he's in our R max. And now he's in no escape. Just gonna head toward the steering dot to kind of put it appropriately on him. Don't want to get too close here. Again, we don't know if there's any air defenses below us, so we want to kind of keep a little bit of an eye on our altitude. So I don't want to go down and chase him too far. Shoot queue is expanding. Again, we want to be careful here. Lost him, so I'm going to switch to dogfight mode. HUD search. 9 miles out. It's moving right to left. Fire. Looks like he's heading out to sea. Looks like he may have avoided that one. Yep. Let's get another one out ahead of him. This is a very close-in shot. I'm going to pull up just in case he has heat seeker on the ready. It's a SU-24MR. Okay, so that one's a bomber. Still could have infrareds though, some lightweight ones. So he ditched that one. Go in for a gun run.
Altitude.
Again, we don't know about any ground air defenses here, so just want to kind of keep an eye out. I saw a friendly unit under us, so my guess is we're in an okay place, but be careful just not to overshoot in case he does have infrared.
Altitude.
Be careful ourselves not to put it in the ground.
Pull up.
Got a ground defensive kill on that. Alright, good enough for me. So we'll get some altitude here. No enemy radar pings. So we'll just pull up for a while. And we'll put in pitch hold. And figure out where we gotta go to go home. So we could go and land back at Sochi. It's waypoint 12. So let's punch that in. Get up to maybe 20,000. I'm okay with putting on our exterior lighting now since we're just heading back home. go to just in the regular nav mode. And just gotta kind of pull up, steer us on. See the HSD, we're basically starting to point the right direction. It's good. So we'll do steering select, altitude hold. About that. So for the YouTube portion of this, I'm just gonna kill it here. Again, this was a day 3 playthrough, so point here was just do a ground attack. We dropped some CBUs on the AA pieces over at Maykop, and then just went on a fighter sweep. Found a couple planes, I think 3 we downed. And now just heading back home. So we'll leave the stream going still over on Twitch and Discord, but we'll do another mission video tomorrow as well. So thanks for tuning in, and as always, leave any questions or comments that you might have, and I'll be certain to get back to you on that. So thanks.